Good afternoon, my dear students. The previous classes we have to discuss the basic materials handling equipment, and this is my third lecture, and we have to discuss the materials handling equipment and unit load. You can see the when you have to read this the materials handling equipment, then few outlines will be required. The materials handling equipment and unit loads, and the basic consideration of materials handling equipment and also the unit load. The what is the design and consideration in materials handling equipment, and the materials characteristics, flow rate, plant layout, and the unit load principles, and the all things will be required to this the materials handling equipment. The basically the first will be discuss the materials characteristics. The materials characteristics affects the type of transport and storage equipment required, and this will be the basic category and measures. The physical state is physical state will be the considered to this the measure the solid, liquid of gases. This will be the physical states will be required to the solid, liquid or gaseous type of materials, and the size, the volume, length, width, height, and this will be required to this the solid particles, and the weight of these materials, the weight per pieces, weight per unit volume will be considered, and the shape, the long and flat, round, square, etc. different type shaped materials will be we can see when you have to transfer from the different places, then we have to consider the different shape and size, and the what is the shape, the long and flat, round, square, etc. shape will be required, and the condition, the hot condition, cold condition, and the weight, etc. will be consideration. The safety risk and the risk of the damage, and these things will be recorded when you have to transfer these materials from the one place to the another place. Then these things will be very essential because of the safety will be first precautions. The when you have to transfer your materials from the one place to the another place, either you are the not safely you have to transfer these materials, then the wholly materials handling procedures will be destroyed. Then you have to require to this the explosive type of materials, then you have to record the one type of precautions, and the flammable type of materials, then another type of precaution will be required, and sometimes we can see the toxic type of materials. The toxic type of materials will be transferred, then you have to the fully required to this the different equipment will be used, and also there is the no hazardous environment will be created, and the fragile type of materials will be transferred. Then you have to again the concentration to this the safety precaution, because of this will be this type of materials when you have to transfer, then without safety measurement, then this type of materials will be destroyed, and different type of crack will be comes in the fragile type of materials. And another thing is that when sometimes we have to the peak and place to these materials, then this will be difficulties will be arise on that places when the fragile type of materials will be transferred, and due to the fragile type of materials we have to transfer the one place to the another place, then the few concentration will be required due to the breaking and also the cracking, and also this will be the heavy loaded type of materials. Then those person will be transferred the fragile materials, then this person there is no dangerous situation will be created on this thing, there is no accident will be occurred on this person. These things will be considerations, and the consideration the flow rate, this will be seen to this the flow rate, the quantity of materials moved, and the high, low, and you can see that conveyors, the conveyor AGV train, and the manual manufacturing hand trucks, and the power trucks, unit load, and the AVG, and you can see the short, long, and the movable distance, and the each and every places when due to this the conveyor system is used to the power plant industry, and another things when you have to the car type conveyor also will be available during to the different type of industry, and so many car will be one by one this car will be movement due to this the one region, and also sometimes you can see due to the car type conveyor, just like the different type of fare, you can see the on will be the human beings as considered as a materials, and also the this is the round shape, and the so many car will be the lay down is the one by one, and also this person will be movement during to this the on circular basis. And this likes our manufacturing industry, we can see the this type of conveyor will be available in the manufacturing units, when the two person will be required. The one person is the loading and the another is the unloading conditions, and the loading person he will be load this the one end, and the another person will be there that this will be unloaded this materials to this the another end. And basically this car type conveyor is the moved properly, and there is the no difficulties, and there is the no dangerous things will be considered, because of to this the car type conveyor is the very portable, and there is the no difficulties will arise, and also the node will be the very the effort will be less effort will be given on this the car type of conveyor. And during to this the belt conveyor, we have to consider to this the power plant industry, then this belt conveyor will be very easily, and also this will be movement to this the automatic, and only you have to the loading places the on carriage systems and the gearbox will be given, and during to this the carriage and also the gearbox, and this materials will be the only the drop on this the systems, and again these systems will be movement the very quickly, and this coal will be transferred the different places the very easily, and there is the no hazardous environment will be created, there is the no dangerous consideration will be there, and there is the no accident will be occur during to this the conveyor systems, and just like the belt conveyor system. And you can see the different bunker according to according to this the weight and the lump size of this materials, this will be placed to this the different bunkers, and also very easily transfer this the materials due to use to this the conveyor belts. And the conveyor AGV train also will be the very easily transfer these materials during to this the industry in industry area, and there is the no outside of this the industry, and this type of materials will be the used. And this conveyor AGV train also you have to putting this materials, and that's like the different or the different type of park, that's like the in our the example, like example in our Kolkata Eco Park and Nico Park, this will be the on AGV train will be available, and the different person will be loading, and on that point, and also the railway track also will be the set on this the industry, that's like the park. And during to during this time that so many gap will be there, that's like the 1 or 2 hours, and 1 hours each and every hours gap, that this the train will be the move to this the whole the industry, and that's like the different station will be given, and that's like the different type of shop floor, and this floor to this the another floor you have to transfer this materials, then this each and every station one person will be required, that's like this will be the loading, and during to this the unloading purpose, and on station this will be the loading, and the similar type of materials will be required to transfer from this the another station or the another shop floor, then you have to loading this the required materials, and then this way the very easily you have to transfer to this the to this materials due to the AGV train conveyor. And another thing is that during to the manual handling hand trucks. Manual handling hand trucks, this will be the see each and every places. Each and every places, that means in our small scale industry, and not is the large scale industry, and also we can see the manual handling hand trucks in our each and every railway stations, and the railway station, and also the different loading and unloading regions, just like the Howrah station and also the Sealdah station. We can see the very every day the uses to this the different type of the worker by using to this the manual handling hand trucks, that like the two-wheel vehicles, and these vehicles will be transferred these materials, the two handles will be given, and the one person the pulling on this the pulling due to these two handles, and another person will be pushed to this the back side, and the more than the consideration of this the two person, these materials will be transferred very easily, and just like the 10 to 15 packet, 10 to 15 packets, and on time this person will be transferred from this the one place to the another person. But when you have to consider due to the manually one person will be transferred. This is the one packet, but during to this the manual handling hand trucks, this the two consideration will be the two person. That's like the effort during to this the two person, the very easily transfer the 10 to 15 packets materials the very easily due to. And another is the power trucks unit load, and the few times you can see to this the not will be the manual handling hand trucks, and the power handling hand trucks also will be available due to transfer to this the unit load AGV. And this process will be very easily you have to transfer the materials, and also the low the short distance, long distance, and the movable distance also will be considered. And another thing will be the very essential, that like the soft floor of this materials will be transferred, and according to consideration of the different type of equipment, the or the using equipment, you have to consideration the floor, that your floor will be the very soft, then you have to transfer by using this the manual handling hand trucks very easily. And there is the less effort, you have to more amount of materials will be transferred easily, will be the safely. And another thing is that the plant layout will be considered the types, layout types, characteristics, and the typical material handling equipment. Basically the fixed position will be considered, the last product size, low production rates, and a few times you can consider the plant layout will be the characteristics of this, the large product size, low production rates will be considered. Then the cranes, hoist, and the industrial trucks, and this will be used when the large product size, that like the the road construction, during to this the road construction, and again things the the ship area, the we have to transfer this the large type of materials from this the also handled the production large product size, and the low production rate will be considered. That means the low quantity of materials will be transferred, but you have to the consider to this the large size. And during to these times, we have to use to this the crane, hoist, and the industrial trucks, and these types of materials will be considered during to this the large size product. These type of product cannot be handled by manually in a human beings, and also these materials will be transferred a human beings the manually, then this will be the very dangerous things will be considered at that point, and there is any type of accident occur during these times. And for this we have to consider the cranes, hoist, and the industrial trucks will be required. And the process variation in product, and the process low and medium production rates. And another thing is that during to this the mass production and the batch production times, and these times that you have to transfer this materials very easily. And a few times we can see different the production industry, that like the mass production, and also the heat will be generated at the places. And during to this the region, when this casting materials will be comes out from this the furnace, and also this product will be not taken by a human beings, but you have to this product will be movement through a belt conveyor. And also this type of materials, that like in our glass factory, that like the Hindustan glass factory, we have to consider that this glass factory, the materials will be movement during to this the belt conveyor process. And this is the production rate will be very high, and on times the more than the 50,000 or the quantity will be produced in the single batch. And this is considered as well as the batch production as well as the mass production. And during to these times, these materials will be transferred a conveyor belt, and this conveyor belt, when the materials the product will be come out from this the furnace, then this will be the very high heat region zone will be considered on these places. And these places a human being cannot be pick up these materials, because of this is the heat will be very high, and this is the difficulties. And this person not will be kept safe when this will be the taken this material. For this these materials will be the conveyed during to this the belt conveyor, and because of this product will be come out from this furnace, then this product will be the will be removed from this place, because of the second product will be come out that point. And during to avoid the hazardness of this product, then the product also will be required to this the movement from this the production unit to this the another places. And during these times we have to given a belt conveyor, and during to this the belt conveyor, this materials will be movement and also this is the continuous process will be done, and this continuous process will be considered, and the materials will be starting to this the reduced heat, and also this will be go to this the room temperature, and again during to this the room temperature these materials will be the movements safely, and the few places the whole materials will be the destroyed or not, and this will be the safe product. Then on engineer will be standing at that point, or the inspector will be placed here, and this will be the sampling on this materials, and the sampling of this the product, and this sampling product we can see that this will be the defect, or this is the non-defect product will be produced continuously, and when we can see the standing on that point, then this will be heat will be reduces, because of this heat will be the exploit in our the environment, and then this explosion of this environment, then this will be the reduces, and also this will be accumulated to the our environmental heat. Then you have to sample these materials, and this will be the okay, and also this will be the process will be done consideration, and finally the one person will be standing to this the final phase, that like that this will be come on this product, and there is the product will be go to the room temperature, and this will be peak a person by your hand, there is the no precaution will be recorded, then this type of product will be come up in our the packaging will show with there, and after all they will be completed to this the packaging systems, then this will be go to the customer, and the customer or the different type of the ISO quality places also will be given, the quality assurance will be given, but this way that this will be done to this the low and medium production rate equipments also will be there, the hand trucks, forklift trucks also will be given the product limited products variety, high production rate, and this is the very important thing when you have to consider the limited product, and also the production rate will be very high, because of the all things you have to concentrate to produce this limited type of product, that like the one or two types of materials you have to produced in your industry, and then you have to the fully concentrate the one type or two type of materials, and also the whole things you have to engage on this one, and then the conveyor for this the product flow trucks to deliver components to stations, and each and everything you have to record during to this the limited type of product, and the limited type of product when you have to consider, then your production rate will be the very high. Suppose you have to consider to this your the mass production, then your mass production you have to on batches you have to produce more than the 1 lakh 2 lakhs product can be produced during to this the mass production, and the minimum the 50,000 product can be produced to this the mass production, and also the on batch, and you have to consider that this repeated production will be done during to your the product unit and in your industry, then very easily you have to the produce to this the production rate will be the very high, and the production rate will be the very high, and also you have to the mass production component and also equipment will be the applied on your the industry, and the unit load principles, and this is the different unit load will be required, the what is the unit load, and the unit load will be considered this the one things, the whole materials you have to concentrate to this the single unit, and just like the our bag and baggage when you have to transfer the one place to the another place, and also the we have to that tour on place, then you have to consider the not is the more than so many bags will be considered, you have to always the concentrate to this the single unit, because of you have to transfer from one place to the another place, your the safety precaution will be very important, and when your the unit load will be considered, then this will be the fully safe. The unit load should be as a large as practical for the materials handling system that will moves and store it, and the a unit load is unit to be moved or handled at a one time. A unit load includes the container carrier or supported that will be used to the move material. You can see that this is the different type of the sky pallets, and also will be given the one box wooden pallet box, and the tote box also will be given, and you have to consider the all things of your material, that like the one bucket is the fruit seller, that this fruit seller also will be put up this the one bucket, the different type of mango, apple, orange, these are everything will be put up to this the one buckets, and when this will be transfer from this the one place to the another place during to your the van or the rickshaw. Then this will be the transfer your the materials very easily, and there is the no difficulties. There is the no difficulties arise, that there is the no distraction arise on this system. And the factors for determining unit load container, and the size of carrier, the size of carrier, and the size and weight of item, space space for the storing loaded and the unloaded container, the equipment used for this the moving materials, the cost, supply and maintenance, as well with door size and the clear stacking, heights, environmental regulation. You can see the size of a carrier, and always you can consider we have to create a unit load, that like suppose your materials will be the one tracks rod you have to transfer one place to the another place. Then you have to fully the packing this rod, and also this will be the creating the one lorry, and this one lorry is considered as the one unit, and this is the size of this carrier will be the high, and the size and weight of this item. And a few times you can see when you have to given the tour the one place to the another place, suppose you have to consider to this the one bags, then this bags weight will be the very high, and also this size also will be the very high, then you cannot be transfer very easily. Then you have to resize, and also suppose the 2 units 3 units can be creating, and the space for storing loaded unloaded container, and a few times the space will be removed when you have to during to this the container. Suppose the seat container, in our the first year students, in our all seats will be put in a seat container, and also this will be seat the transfer from the one place to the another place very easily, and there is the no defect will be comes, and also there is the no difficulties will be arise. And another thing is that suppose that the instrument box, and the inside of this instrument box the so many things or the component will be put on this the instrument box, because of the all components will be safe. There is the no missing case will be there, and there is the no breaking. Suppose one scale will be put on this the another places, then this will be the sitting on this or you have to another load will be put on this scale, then this scale will be break, and this will be damaged on this, and for this you have to put it in a container, that like the instrument box. Then this type of box will be fully safe, and also all equipment also will be the fully safe. There is the no difficulties will be arise. And the equipment used for moving, and also the equipment used the different thing. Suppose the one bags you have to give it to this a trolley or a circular system or the conveyor belt, then your all things will be go to this the one bags. There is the no effort will be required to you, and the cost, supply and the maintenance also all things will be the very easily you have to transfer, because of your the whole things will be considered to this a single bag or the single unit. Then during to this the transportation cost will be the very less. And the SI with door size, and the a few times you can say your component is will be the so much high, then your door size is a very less, then you cannot be handled your materials properly. Stacking height also will be the important. Suppose the materials will be the stacking, the knot will be the properly, and the stack height will be so much high, then you cannot be handled properly. Then all things will be considered. The environmental regulation also will be the essential reason for using the unit loads in materials handling purpose. The multiple items handled simultaneously, and suppose we can consider or we can see the electrician or the different gas oven repairing person, this person will be the whole things will be putting inside these bags, okay, and the small particles or the small component, and sometimes you can see that due to this the large size of component, the all things you have to putting in the one bags, and also inside of this bags will be different unit also will be considered. This different unit you can open these bags, and also you have to disassemble this required particles, and then you have to transfer. Another thing is the required number of tips is reduced, and this is the one items will be considered. Then these one items you have to transfer to this the one times, and there is the reduce the number of tips, and this is things will be the in the unit loads, and the loading unloading times are reduced, and this will be the another things, loading and unloading times will be reduced, the product damage is decreases, and the unit loads disadvantage, and this is the very much things will be there. Sometimes we can say that this is the very much disadvantage of this the unit load. Suppose the you have to putting the whole things in your the one basket, and also the one unit will be considered, and you have to the first times you have to record to this the this will be the disassemble, and also the where you have to place, and a few times the we have to save properly, and these things will be considered. Again the you have to consideration that this will be not the heavy loaded materials, and this will be not the heavy loaded materials, always you have to put to this the lower side, and suppose your bags or the your container will be the reverse case will be given, and just like the turn, and then your the heavy loaded materials will be put in the to this the low loaded materials, then this low loaded materials will be the sometimes you can see the breakdown, the time spent forming and the breaking down the unit loads, and this will be on things the your unit load will be required to this the disassemble or this the breaking to this your the unit load, then these times the excess times will be required to this the break down the unit load, and the another thing is the empty container, the pallets may need to be the returned to their point of origin, and this is the thing. Suppose you have to transfer your materials, and one container you have to taken in your industry, and also this will be go to the supply to the customer or the sub dealer, then due to this these places you have to the whole point will be given to this the supply, and again your the empty container you have to require to this the return to this the production hub, and this will be required to this the few the return cost also will be given. So this will be the transportation cost also few times will be the high, and the cost of containers, pallet and other loaded registering materials used in the unit load, and this will be the container cost also will be recorded. Sometimes you can see the on small bags, and then you have to consider these bags is the not very comfort when you have to movement from the one place to the another place, then you have to record to this the big size of bags also will be buy, and then these bags the bags will be buy, then this will be some cost will be recorded, and due to the excess money also will be the recorded on that point, and the major advantage of unitization handling of unit loads are it permits handling of larger loads at a time, and thereby reduce handling and transportation cost, and the loading and unloading times of unit load is substantially less than when handled as loads. Individual materials unitized loads are less susceptible to damage and loss during the movement from one place to another place. It's offer safer handling and transportation compared to those of these lost materials. And the unit load, the what is the unit load will be considered. The unitization of load is an important concept in materials handling. The basic concept is to move maximum load at a time so that the number of moves from a defined quantity of loads to be moved is minimum, and so is the cost of handling. The concept is practiced wherever possible, almost universal, and often the two terms unit load and unitized loads are used interchangeability changeable. However, in this chapter unit load will mean a single object, where the unitized loads will mean collections of objects which are being treated as a unit load for handling as it. A few example unit loads are bundle or strikes tied together, and the few times we can see in the different type of material, that like the different type of rod. When the rod is transferred from the one place to the another place, then you have to rod is the tied on a bundle, and during to the one bundle, that like there is the long item also will be there, and the bundle will be the very easily transfer. That's about the 6 or 7 rods will be tied on a bundle, and these bundles will be the tied together, and also this will be the transfer. The small casting puts inside a container. You can see the different type of casting materials and also the different the sub component, the small component, the different pin, and this like components you have to the puts inside a container, and this container you have to transfer the very easily, and one place to the another place, and the stack of bricks on a pallet, and sometimes you can see the stack of bricks, and these bricks will be the stacking the one by one, and these bricks will be the transfer due to this the one lorry or sometimes you can see the different type of the three wheel vehicles, that means the two wheel hand trucks will be transferred during to this the stack of bricks on a pallet, and the a trailer full on of a sand etc. So the trailer full of a sand, and a few times we have to consider the one trailer will be considered as a one unit load, and these trails will be transferred very easily according to your required places, and there is the no difficulties will be comes on this when you have to transfer during to this the one trailer of the trailer full of sand, and the advantages of unitization load, and the major advantages of unitization and handling of unit loads are: it permits handling of larger loads at a time, and thereby reduce handling and transportation cost. Reduce handling and transportation cost. Loading and unloading time of unit load is substantially less than when handled as losses individual materials. Unitized load or classes are less susceptible to damage and loss during movement from one place to another places. It offers safer handling and transportation compared as to as those of lost materials, and you can see the different it offers safer handling and transportation compared to those of lost materials, and suppose you are the one uh, on basket some materials will be transferred, and you can see the more than basket will be transferred the one trailer, then you have to the transportation cost will be the very less. And another things, unitization load even made of irregular shaped items generally become stable and well shaped. This offers a number of advantages like stable storage, uniform stacking to greater height, and increased storage space utilization also will be there. For unitized loads, individual items labeling may be avoided. The process of unitization often protects loads from the foreign elements. Unitization generally provides a basis for standardization of handling system and equipment within the plant, as well as the receiving and shipping point of transportations, and also the disadvantage of unit loads, you can say the time spent of forming and breaking down the unit load, the cost of containers, pallets, and other loads will be there, and this will be things also discussion. The cost of containers, pallet, and other loads also will be required to this the unitization load. The restraints materials uses in this the unit loads also will be the required. The empty containers, pallets may be needed to be returned to their points of this origin, and few things also will be there. The suppose a bundle or stacking system will be considered during to this the unitization load, then you have to always concentrate to this the stacking. So, a few days later you can see in our college when the online examinations online copy stacking system will be not present here, then the two wheel vehicles or the four wheel vehicles also will be there, and this is the stacking, and the lower part of the stack the four wheel will be mounted, and another thing is that um, our the two person that means the two person, that means our the two person very easily transfer these materials to this the different department, and your the different teachers in front of these different teachers these materials will be the transfer very easily. There is the no difficulties will be arise during to this the the stacking system. And sometimes we can see the in our home and the some stacking system also will be there. These are the books. Our books will be stacking and the racks also will be given, and these things all are will be considered the materials handling equipment as well as the unit load considerations. And a few MCQ questions also will be given. Which of the following is a property of bulk load? The hardness, cake forming tendency, suspension parts, and also the weight. Basically the answer is the cake forming tendency. The essential requirements of a good materials handling systems may be efficient and safe movement of materials to the desired place, cut down indirect labor cost, and the storing of materials utilizing minimum space. All of this above. Basically the efficient and safe movement of materials desired place, cut down indirect labor cost, and also the storage of materials utilization minimum space also will be required. And the forklift capacity is the measurement of how much weight of particular forklift can lift. It is common misconception is that a forklift with the maximum rated of lifting capacity is the 2500 kg can lift any 2500 kg loads. The rated capacity is maximum capacity established by the manufacturer based on component strength and the track stability. A forklift rated loads capacity is the maximum weight is kilograms that forklift can safely lift and transport at the specific load center distance in the millimeters. And also the materials handling principles will be discussed in the next classes. Okay, thank you.